Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Kerbal Space program. In the last episode, we got the longbow back to Kerbin orbit and then returned the crew back home to Kerbin, collected the science, unlocked a bunch of stuff in the Research and Development Center, and then began work on designing the moon, or MUN, orbital station that I want to build that is going to be a resourcing operation to gather resources from the moon and then convert them into various materials that we need so that I can fuel up ships, so I can basically, when a manned vessel returns back to Kerbin, send it to the moon, park it, dock it to the station, and then resupply it from the station, and then, find a way to kind of disembark crew, embark crew, that sort of thing. So that's going to kind of be the ultimate plan here. So that's kind of what we're working on. And to that end, I went ahead and worked on getting the longbow out to moon orbit. So I got it to a, non-inclined orbit, and then moved it to the moon orbit. So that is what we have there. And so what I need to do now is get the station core that I launched at the end of last episode. Something goofy happened during that process, and we lost the first attempt, but was able to get the second attempt out there. Something happened with MechJeb. But, that's why it's good to be able to fly that stuff manually if you need to. Alright, so the moon station core is what we're looking at here. Alright, there we are. So, what we need to do is get this thing to where it needs to be. And for the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the moon as target, and then I want to do a bi-impulsive transfer, create the node, and then I'm going to go ahead and edit the node. It's still being weird. 837 meters per second of delta V. We got lots of delta V still in this upper stage. So that'll definitely be able to do our transfer and capture. So, let's see what we got. Alright, let's open up that node. Because right now, this is an impact trajectory, and I don't want an impact trajectory. What I'd like is, that's a bit odd. But I think that's ultimately what I want. I want it to come through there, coming around behind the moon. Periapsis is 186,000 meters. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and tell it to execute that node, and then we'll see what it looks like when we get out there. Because the way I have things set up, I want to basically be orbiting the moon in a counterclockwise direction rather than a clockwise direction. Which means I needed the trajectories to come around behind the moon. Should be a fairly short burn, it would seem. Oh, and I need to make sure that I extend that antenna so that we have control all the way there. Actually, I'll go ahead and extend both of them. Alright, and there we are. So let's go ahead and warp one over here. Then we'll do the capture burn. Okay, yep, there we are. So, I want it to circularize at the periapsis. No. We're in a non-inclined orbit, so we should be fine. Looks like I got that that initial orbit from Kerbal pretty good. Alright, what is the battery storage here? 4,500? Okay. I'll probably want more than that eventually. Alright. So, there we go. We're facing retrograde, so what I actually want to do is flip this thing around prograde. Alright. Actually, let's do radial out. Let's do radial out. So that I can get some exposure on those solar panels. There we go. And then let's undock. And then let's give it a little bit. Of a push off there. Alright, so this is going to be our orbit. 185,000 meters, which is pretty decent, actually. Alright, now this guy is going to go retrograde. And I am going to burn off that fuel and get this thing to disposed of itself. That's goofy. Alright, there we go. Disposed of. Alright, tracking station. Now I want to switch over to the longbow where I have it parked. Let's see. There you are. And I'm going to be using this as kind of some of the early components of the station. Providing the life support, the solar panels, some of the living space, that sort of stuff. The thrust module, this thing, I'm going to detach and use as an orbital tug. Move components from Kerbin to the moon. Alright, the reactor is still active? Yes, it is. Okay. I have 2,400 meters per second of delta V. That should be more than enough. Alright, there's the moon station core. Let's set that as the target. I want to do the transfer. Create the node. This can take 4 hours and 21 minutes with an 8-second burn. Do it. We also have these life support recycling modules, all kinds of stuff, so this will provide some utility capabilities. Alright. There we are, and then I want to go ahead and match velocities with the target at closest approach. 30 meter per second in 51 minutes. Alright. And what I might do here... Let's see, this is a monopropellant tank? Oh yeah, that's a monopropellant tank. Okay. Alright, there's the core. Hopefully we aren't going to bump into it. It's gonna be close. That's why I use MechJeb, because it's almost impossible to get anything that precise by hand. There we go. Okay, so We should have cores everywhere. Alright, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to decouple this. We're going to undock. Alright, I want to control from here and enable the docking camera. And then we're going to pick a node here that we're going to dock at. So I think I'm going to dock it right about there. Alright. Engage the RCS and let's start the process. Because it's going to be much easier to dock without this big, heavy propulsion block sitting back there. Okay, hold on. Alright, I should be aligned. Alright, how do I want to orient this? Yeah, that should be good. Though, I could go like this, because I think that's actually the proper orientation right there. Yeah, that'll be fine for now. Okay. Alright, something isn't quite... Okay, I think I got it. It's a matter of getting, to know what direction your controls are moving. Target. Alright, I want to make sure that we are approaching. Yeah, we are. Good, good, good. And this thing is oscillating all over the place. Because a lot of the RCS thrusters are not in optimal position, so... But... I think I've got it. Just about. All right, let's accelerate forward just a little bit. Get to about 0.5 meters per second. Oh, too much, too much, too much, too much. All right, and we're docked. Okay. A little bit of an overcorrection there right at the end, but got it done. All right, turn that off. All right, so there we are. That now provides a little bit of a habitation area, some life support. I could potentially bring up some Kerbals and some additional power. But I'm going to hold off on that just a little bit. You now. You're up to 4,000 meters per second of delta V with the reactor on. So what I'd like to do is return from a moon. Create the node and let's see what it looks like. Not bad, but I don't want to basically impact Kerbin. So if we slow that down just a little bit, we can get a resultant periapsis that is above the atmosphere, which would be nice. 300 kilometers? Looks about right. Alright. Go ahead and execute the node. Now, we should start drifting apart, because they are drifting apart ever so slightly. Yep, there you go. Because now it's not pushing all that extra weight. It should be much more responsive. Because once the two on-demand probes, the one to Elu and Joule, return, I should be able to unlock a lot of tech that will allow me to design and build a new interplanetary vehicle. It'll be much larger, potentially. Alright, so now I want to warp till it leaves the moon sphere of influence. There. Alright, good. And then I want you to circularize at the next periapsis and create and execute. 700 meters per second. This thing is going to need a refuel. I'll probably take care of that off screen. I think the other one also needs to refuel as well. I'm primarily be using these to move the larger, heavier parts. Alright, so that's only going to be 2 minutes. Alright, so this should still have a not insignificant amount of monopropellant, which it does. Though it would have been better if these were magnetoplasma dynamic RCS thrusters, because then it could use the actual onboard lithium. Oh well. Okay, so after this thing is done and parked, and begin design work on the next piece of the station that I want to do. Actually, let me just look on the map. Alright, where are... Alright, you're not that far out. I'll actually need to take a look and make sure that what kind of time frames we're looking at. So I don't want to miss one of the rendezvous there. Alright, good. So back to the Space Center. Alright. It's the Joule probe I want to look at. "400 days until the Joule encounter." Okay, good. And the ELU probe? We have like what? 2 years to encounter? Okay. So 400 days, and you need to keep an eye on that. Alright, so the next set of parts that I want to send up are going to be some large solar panels to provide power for the habitation blocks. Alright, so how do I want to do that? Okay. First things first is we're going to need a guidance unit. Okay, so this one's 1.25 meter, this one is 2.5 meter. Alright. Actually, think about it, I want to do 2 of them. So I'm actually going to use one of these adapters. Yes, okay. Clampotron docking ports, right? Docking ports. And then what we're going to need here are going to be the control units. These have a reaction wheel, but not a very big reaction wheel. That's fine. Because I can put a small reaction wheel there. They're bumping into each other. Hopefully that won't be a problem. Hopefully that won't be a problem. Okay, and then what we're going to need is a small RCS fuel tank. Yep. And we're gonna use these hexagirders. No, those won't work. Octagirders. Cubic family D-struts. Hold on. Alright, well, I had to reload everything. Well, that's not a problem. Alright, so back where we were. So what I actually want to use is these. And I think I probably want to use 2 of... Nope, no, not that one. This one. 2 of them. We'll see. We'll go with that. And then I'll need one of these adapters on the end again. On the end of each one. And then I want to put another fuel tank on the end here, RCS, because it's going to be unbalanced otherwise. And then a docking port. There and there. And then we'll need RCS. I'll probably want to use these. Because they're fairly low profile, so they shouldn't interfere with each other. Good. All right. And now... oh, we're going to need some batteries on here. Okay. How much battery does that hold? 1,000? That'll be fine. And then... Nautilus blanket photovoltaic array is 2 of each of those. Pretty close. Yeah, I think that'll work. Oh, these are the wrong ones. That's not the right one. There we go. Right, now, how much do these produce? These produce 45 electric charge per second a piece. So that's 90, 180, 360 electric charge per second if under full sun exposure. That's actually not bad. And what do they look like extended? Yeah, perfect. So if I were to extend that and extend that, they should be fine, because when they retract... No, actually they're going to be... they'll bump into each other. Right. Okay. So I need to check clearance. So I actually need to be there. And there. Actually, they can be there and there. A little bit higher there, and right about there. Right, so they won't bump into each other if they rotate in that direction. Good, good, good. Okay. I think that'll do it. And that should be a very light payload. Yeah, it's only 9 tons. Only 9 tons. Alright. So, what we're going to need? We're going to need a guidance unit down here. It's going to need some of its own power. And batteries. Let's see. Expanded fairing base. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to manually adjust the fairings on these. So that's what, a 3.75 meter fairing. No, actually, it looks like it's right. Okay, that's good. And we're gonna have a very similar design to the last rocket. Alright, so that's the upper stage. 3,000 meters per second. That's perfectly fine. And we'll go through with the same stack we had before. Let's see, 2,000 meters per second. I think we'll probably just go same deal with the side-mounted solid boosters. Let's see, that's 3,000 meters per second. That's another 3,000 meters per second. But see, then I'll have to do the orbital insertion and the transfer and the capture and the rendezvous. I don't know if that's going to be enough. It might be. Thrust awaits. That seems overkill for just this. Well, let's give it a go. Let's give it a try, and let's see how it works. Put the fairing on there, and then let's go ahead... Oh, actually... I need to get the launch clamps on there first. Alright, down there. Put the fairing back on. And launch clamps. Alright. Alright, so solid boosters and launch clamps. Blow that. Fire that. Blow that. Fire this. And then get rid of those. Alright, that ought to do. So this is going to be the moon station. Solar panels. Solar modules. And then we save that. And let's see if, oh. There is actually one other thing we need to do here that I completely forgot. Good thing that I remembered. This thing has no antennas as of yet. Let's see. Let's put one of those on there. And then over here, you guys are going to need antennas. Okay. Put that fairing back on. There we go. Oh. Both halves, please. There we go. Oh, of course this decided to mess up again. There we go. Alright, save it, and let's launch the thing. I think it's because I reset the ascent guidance in the middle of the launch, which is what caused the problem. 100 kilometers, 0 inclination, limit Q. Yeah. Engage the autopilot, and let's see if it works. You know, it's no big loss if it ends up in the ocean again. We haven't even hit Q yet. Show ascent nav ball guidance. Time to apoapsis is dropping. It's gonna put it in the ocean again. Why are you throttling down? Something is seriously wrong. Disengage the autopilot. And again, I've lost throttle control. Okay, something's just broken. Alright, fine. I'll launch it manually. That's annoying. Okay. Back to Space Center. Let's try that again. Either this... something about it, this design is just not agreeing with it. Weird. Alright, put it on the pad. Okay, here we go. Alright, make sure that limit Q is off. Alright, 2,000 meters, and let's start our turn. Don't want to get too far off of angle of attack. Around 10,000 meters, we want to be kind of 45 degrees, which we're not quite there yet, but you know, we're getting there. Alright. Time to apoapsis is still increasing. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and start trying to get this some horizontal velocity. Time to apoapsis is increasing. Good. Apoapsis height is there, and engage that engine. It's got to push us the rest of the way. And there. Okay, good. Set up the next maneuver. Okay, tell it to orient to the maneuver node. I want that maneuver planner. I want to tell it to execute the node. Well, actually, not quite yet. As soon as we get above 70, going to dispose of the fairings. 70 kilometers. There we are. And execute the node. There we go. 2,000 meters per second, 2,300 left in the tank. More than enough. Okay, so let's begin our transfers. Set as target. Give me a node. Alright. And then I just need to adjust that node. No, not quite there. Periapsis 167. Actually, I want that to be a little bit higher than that. 839. Let's see. 830 meters per second on... Okay, it's going to be very subtle. 825. 399 meters. I like that. Do it. Was I off plane a little bit? I do appear to be off plane a little bit. Maybe. No, it's going to push me off plane. It's odd. Oh well, I'll take it and we'll figure it out once we get there. Alright. We are on our way. So let's go ahead and warp to the moon sphere of influence, and then we'll get our circularization there and perform our rendezvous. Alright, circularize at the periapsis, create and execute. Oh. I didn't deploy the antennas. So I have no control until I get within range of one of those other communication satellites that can relay. I mean, I really should be there by now. Because we have passive communication here. 500K. So I have to be within 500 kilometers of something. Ooh. Well, this could be a mess. Come on, give me a connection. Give me a connection somewhere. Usually, they have partial control to allow you to deploy the antennas at least. I mean, I'm not within 500 kilometers of anything. That one. No, I'm more than 500 kilometers away from that one. And nothing is going to be close enough in 9 minutes. Well, that's a screw up. Or unless I have no electric charge. I have no electric charge. Well, how about that? Because I did not include any... That's a problem. I didn't include any other solar panels that don't need to be deployed. That's why I can't do anything. Can I throttle up? No, I can't throttle up. So I can't use the engine's alternator to do anything there. Okay, so that's lost. So that's just gonna end up flying out into who knows where. Well, into this orbit. Alright, well, there's that then, I guess. It's just going to be a piece of debris then. I mean, I could revert it, but I'm not going to do that. Because we have to go back to the drawing board on that one a little bit. Well, you know, failure is always an option, as they say. In Kerbal, I didn't put on a solar panel. That's why would I put on a solar panel? I have solar panels. They don't do anything unless they're deployed. And I'm not going to deploy them in this configuration because they're folded up for a reason, so they don't cause problems. Okay. Well, the easy thing to do would be to just slap a few solar panels here and then create an action group to turn the antennas on and the solar panels. There you go. Alright, but I think we'll go ahead and stop here. I'll go ahead and get this thing relaunched and moved over to the moon before next episode. And then for next episode, we'll go ahead and get these guys installed and deployed and then see what the next thing is going to be, which I think is going to be setting up a hydroponics and a starter, well, hydroponics, and then maybe getting some Kerbals over there to actually start being able to operate things. Well, you know, just trying to get a small crew on the station for now. Well, I think because you'll need Kerbals to operate the hydroponics, if I am correct on that. Crew capacity 2. Yeah, I think it actually needs to have Kerbals on board in order to operate the hydroponics module, so I can start making my own supplies. So yeah, after these are installed and there's actual available power, then these guys, I'll send up a hydroponics and some crew. Needs 3.3 electric charges per second, mulch, fertilizer, puts out that much, 35.64 per day. Yeah. That'll work. Alright, so 2 failures. But you know, we're making progress. That's a good thing. Alright. So, as I said, we'll stop here. So if you guys enjoyed it, thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.